Andrew S. here, and today I'm going to be talking about the new album from As the Sun Falls, Kaamos. Now, one thing I noticed about this album right off the bat was that there was a new lineup, pretty much, outside of Jani, Berne, Mikkonen. Obviously we know what happens when we change entire lineups, especially the singers. The singers can be really much the identity of a band for the most part. So I was really curious to see or hear how, this album could turn out, and I think it turned out really, really well for these guys. It opens up with a wonderful intro piece called Indrus. This one had a really wintry atmosphere that erupts into majesty, which then erupts into the early assault in Among the Stars, which is a great killer track right off the bat. This has, like I said, it has a lot of intensity right off the bat, but also has these calm moments, calm waters and soothing rivers to sort of quell the assaulting storm going on in this track. And once again, the hooks and melodies from As the Sun Falls are just great and addictive. I really like what they do, atmospherically, and the melodies, not just the guitars, but like the vocals. You really get to feel the vocals as well. One thing I also noticed about this is, like the last album, there's like this really cold, dark journey going on, and I feel like there's another one in this one. So I kind of like this atmosphere, this idea that they have going on, and the direction, and you really get this bleak, dark atmosphere that starts to brood in the song Black Lakes, which kind of goes in hand with the title. This conveys this dark journey that is about to begin. I felt this part of the story and the placement of Black Lakes was important to the trajectory of the emotion and atmosphere to come on this album. So it was a really great track, really smart placement of it to really send the album in the direction that you want to go, and kind of segue and kind of have a build song per song until you get to kind of your destination. And I really feel like it starts with Black Lakes, and then you go into this next track, In Forlorn Times. This one opens the floodgates for being able to feel several emotions, atmospheres, the vocals, the lyrics, as well as instruments separation. I felt where you get to feel each instrument and everything kind of shine on their own. Just parts of tranquil, clean guitars, hard-hitting drums at times, rhythms with sharp lead work, vocals that are delivered with painfully passionate, intense at times, all these different types of emotions from the vocals, from the new singer Jani Hakulinen. I think he does a really great job on this album. You get to feel a lot of what he's able to do, and being a harsh vocalist that he does, I feel like he's very audible, and you get to feel a lot, which I thought was very impressive as well. But he just does a really great job, and I felt a lot of his singing in the track In Forlorn Times. Now moving on to another track that really speaks about a journey, The Wanderer. Really works well with that. Awesomely ferocious. One thing that stood out to me, though, was the pulse-pounding, grinding tremolo during the verse. Wasn't just heavy, but built such vigor, such nice intensity, nice pacing, and the drums really complemented those riffs absolutely flawlessly as well. I also enjoyed the reserve that was shown, so the melodies and atmosphere could sort of break out, shine, and glow like the Northern Lights a little bit. And kind of speaking of the Northern Lights, this is actually a great segue into the next track I want to mention is Aurora. This one is part full throttle, part illuminating melodies, part seductive tranquility. There's just so many different elements going into this one. It's really unique. I like the blends and the transitions in and out of all of these sort of, like I said, the full throttle, the illuminating melodies, the seductive parts. There's nice transitions, a really nice flow to this, and I love the bass. I feel like kind of the bass might have been the glue, if you think about it now. The kind of brought all those pieces together a little bit, which kind of is the case for bass sometimes, but it really kind of warmed these cold waters of this track, and I really like that once again we get an opportunity to hear the bass and bring itself up front and have its moment on an album, not like Jason Newsted's and Justice for All bit, but I really like what they did here. And I have to say the vocals during the chorus really caught me as well. Once again, Hakulinen with his vocals really did a great job. I really felt the lyrics, and that could be because, like I said, there's illuminating melodies, so he has the opportunity to come forward a little bit there. Same with the seductive, tranquil parts. So he really goes well hand in hand with all the different type of atmospheres and pacings and different things that As the Sun Falls delivers on this album. Now these next two songs I want to talk about is I put together as a kind of like a chapter, kind of exactly like I did in the last As the Sun Falls video I did, and I felt like these two, you know, title wise even went together. Through Shadow and Grief and Into the Shadows, definitely the titles go together, and these really cast this coldness over this part of the album, very conducive to what, you know, to the lyrics. And I really like the tranquility created in some of the parts in each song that were very pleasant. And you also have these heavy moments that don't overtake that as well or come out of nowhere. I kind of like that flow, and they just really went together. And I thought like these two songs kind of changed the direction of the story or the feel of this atmosphere of the album and emotions a little bit, I would say, and kind of, you know, sent the journey in a different direction, and kind of, you know, goes into the end of the album quite nicely. I felt the title track of Kaamos. This one is a smart composition to end the album, since it has musical emotion of closure. I felt maybe the ending of a cold dark night going into a cold dark day, or maybe the end of the polar night, Kaamos. And I just thought that, you know, As the Sun Falls did a great job once again closing out the end of the album with closure, kind of this tale, but not really of the journey. I felt this feels like the previous album, like there's a story going on, so that you get closure, but there's also like this hint of leaving it open. And open to segue into the next album, kind of like a comic writer on a long arc, or a manga, or a novelist in a series. They leave the door open a little bit, even though, you know, you get some closure at the end of that. I thought As the Sun Falls, that's what they left open in Kaamos, so I really like that. It's a unique sort of sound and feeling that you get musically from them. So really great job. I thought the album was really impressive. There's so much to really absorb from, like I said, the atmosphere, the emotion, the vocals, the intensity of the drums and guitars at times, the peaceful tranquility that they come back. There's a lot of different, you know, things to absorb on this album, and I thought that was really impressive, especially considering it's a brand new lineup, so you don't really know what to get. You know, and I think everybody did a great job of you know, pulling it together and from the last album, and you know, stepping in to the roles, right? You never know what could happen when you change the entire lineup pretty much. So really kudos to As the Sun Falls on that. And of course all the songs and links to the band camps, you know, so you can check out the music and maybe purchase it. Well, they got t-shirts as well, obviously not these guys, but they got t-shirts and stuff like that as well. And so, you know, that'll all of course be in the description below for you guys to check out, along with my other channels and things like that. And until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?